for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening and welcome. The July 23rd, 2024 meeting of the Jackson Township Council will now come to order. Councilman Morelli,
Here.
Councilman Bernstein,
Here.
Councilman Chisholm,
Here.
Council Vice President Sargent,
Present.
and Council President Kuhn.
Here.
As clerk of the meeting, I hereby publicly announce in compliance with provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting has been advertised in the manner prescribed by law. We move on and continue with opening comments from Township Council. Council President Kuhn.
Thank you, Ms. Moss. As you can see, we finalized both Johnson Park and Wood Lane Park. These are the color themes that have been submitted and approved by administration. Thank you so much. You can kind of give a visual of what the kids will see. We're working on one last park and finalizing that, and we'll have that for the next meeting. But these are done, submitted. Everything has been ordered. We do not have a start date, but everything has been ordered to the company for delivery. So next thing, DPW just wanted me to let everybody know that the spray park is up and running. So that has been fixed as of yesterday. So you are good to go if you want to go enjoy that. Our Jackson Police Explorers are having a presentation on October 4th, Murder Mystery Dinner Show. It will be held at Jackson Mills Firehouse from 6 to 9 p.m. Tickets are $60. And if you're interested, please just email me and I will forward your information to the officer that's running it. It's a thrilling night of mystery, intrigue, as you work with the Jackson Police Explorers to solve a murder case. So it sounds really cute. Hopefully you guys can attend. And then lastly, our recreation asked that the Jackson Summer Concert that was canceled is going to be rescheduled for tomorrow. Again, that's in Johnson Park from 6:30 to 8 p.m. Couple more things. That's the feel-good things. Now we're down to business. I just wanted to reiterate, I myself am going through a little bit of reconstruction in my house. I needed a container, dumpster permit. So I went myself the last minute, sat at my computer, took me all of about 2.5 minutes. SDL, which is the portal that administration set up that, they sent me a nice email, got it back to myself, told them where my dumpster was going. I didn't need a survey. I didn't need a credit card. I didn't need anything. But now they're aware and I have my permit. So I myself thought the process was great. It was easy. There was one little glitch that I had and I just made sure I called the administration and just said, hey, listen, can you reach out there? It's still requiring a survey and we no longer need that. In the description, you just have to put where your dumpster is going to be located at. And as soon as you do that, your permit is in your email. No bother to go down to the town or anything like that. Lastly, I wanted to just talk about transportation in the Board of Education, a meeting that I myself went to, administration, Councilman Bernstein, our traffic safety, our engineer, and our director, Candido. We all went there and met with the Board of Education regarding the concerns of courtesy busing and the grant program that they submitted for. We were looking for an answer that your kids are not, my nieces, are not going to be walking to school. I'm sorry, we're not ready for that. The town is not prepared for that. It's not safe. There's no way. The second that came out, I'm sure all of you got concerns. My brother came to my house. He lives 11 doors down. I have a 7 and 10-year-old niece. They're not walking to Johnson School, McCall. It's just not happening. The schools are not ready to be walking. We don't have enough curbs and sidewalks. So there was a grant that was submitted, and we're waiting to hear if they've gotten it for $2.5 million. This meeting was talking about safety and roads and this and that. And I was like, this courtesy busing. So the Board of Ed said, listen, at the end of the day, this meeting in the next school year, which is 24-25, we're going to make sure courtesy busing somehow, somewhere, we're going to make sure that these kids get bused. This meeting's about 25-26. We had asked about a grant for $2.5 million that we heard, it was in the paper, y'all read it, that we got it. I said to the administration at Board of Ed and our superintendent, why are we not telling the parents that these kids are going to have buses to go to school? Well, because we don't have, it's not in my hand. The check isn't in my hand. I said, I want to say our business administrator, Mr. Wall, all of a sudden got up from the table. He's walking on his cell phone in the corner. We're sitting there, and I'm like, listen, this is a problem. We understand we need to come to a solution. So he came back at the end of the meeting, and he talked to Assemblyman Alex Sawicki and said, you guys can say that that money is guaranteed. That is $2.5 million. 1.5 of it will reinstall courtesy busing for your kids. And the other million, now this grant has to be for infrastructure. So right there at the table, you were there, witnessed Mr. Wall say that the township will match their $1 million extra that they have. And so that's $2 million that will be implemented towards your curbs and your sidewalks to keep your kids safe at school. That's what we need to be talking about. Then we next went to Director Candino and the traffic safety and said, how are we going to work on this with the township engineer there and the bus transportation? Those are the conversations. Those are the rooms I want to be in. That's the conversations that I want to have. So when I come to these council meetings, I can give you updates like that. Yes, I like the parks are open. I love this. We're doing great things. But traffic safety is very important. And that's the kind of things that you guys should be really writing about and talking about and sharing with your friends and neighbors that have children. That's all. Thank you and have a great night.
Thank you. Council Vice President Sargent.
Good evening. Yesterday, we lost a 21-year-old bright shining star from Jackson. Her name was Maddie Gross. Her family's heartbroken, and all our prayers are going to go out to the family. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Borelli.
Thank you, Clerk Moss. In addition to the spray park and Jackson's Justice Complex reopening, the Jackson Library has as well. Also, in addition to the Military Appreciation Day taking place on Saturday afternoon, August 3rd at 401 Bartley Road, rain date is Sunday, August 4th. Our town's annual National Night Out, also sponsored and organized by our police department. It's always a great event, and this year it's taking place on Tuesday, August 6th. In Johnson Park from 6 to 9 p.m. According to the event's flyer, there will be raffles and prizes, free food, soda, and water, live music, games, and rides for the kids, first responder equipment and vehicle displays, and SWAT team presentations, and much more. Local business vendors will also be there, too. There's never a shortage of things to go to and do in Jackson. Take care and have a good evening.
Thank you. Councilman Bernstein.
Good evening. Firstly, I wanted to get back. By the last meeting, a resident came up and I meant the email. I just didn't have the email address. Came up and wanted to know about a traffic light by the corner of West Commodore and I think it was Diamond. So we did speak to the county the next morning. That job was approved by the Ocean County Engineering Department. It is on their agenda. What they're currently working on is they are requiring all the permission from all the property owners around. They said there's multiple domains that they have to assess, and they're putting together the package, and it's being sent to all the different departments that manufacture the light. Every light is different. I did ask them what we can do to ensure that it's not a 5-year process. They told me the supply chain has eased up a little bit, and they are hoping that they'll have the project ready to go out for bid around at the end of the fall season. So that's the update beginning of the winter. Additionally, I just want to thank our council and really the administration for getting resolution R265-24 on this agenda, standing together with our neighbors throughout Ocean County, really throughout New Jersey, Congressman Smith and Congressman Van Drew in opposing some of the mandates that are coming down and some of the environmental concerns that are coming down from the state. Thank you and have a good night.
Thank you. Councilman Chisholm.
I have lived a long time, sir, and the longer I live, the more convincing proofs I see of this truth, that God governs in the affairs of men. Benjamin Franklin. Well, I haven't lived as long as Ben, but I've seen some of those same convincing truths. And for 400 years, I don't know how many times that the good Lord has intervened in our affairs, and thankfully he has, and preserved us a nation. For the 4th time in our history, a president was spared from an assassin. 2nd time in my lifetime. I don't think that was by accident, and I'm looking forward to seeing Donald Trump correct some of the many disgraceful acts we have seen over the last 3.5 years. including Democrats hiding a senile and dementia-laden old man from us for 3.5 to 4.5 years until it became clear that they had no chance of winning an election. So now they've pulled out all the stops so they could get the money flowing again. Luckily for most of Americans, Kamala Harris is the only person more incompetent than Joe Biden, so thank God for that. You will also notice King Philip is not in New Jersey at the moment. He went down to go to the swamp. He wanted to go to the swamp so that he can get a new job with the Harris administration. God help America if he does. Make sure you get out and vote. We've already seen his damage, including the offshore wind turbines. So I'm thankful to see that R26524 is on here tonight. Again, we have no say here in Jackson about wind turbines and offshore wind farms. However, they are a disaster. They are a safety concern. And just last week, up in Nantucket, liberal Nantucket, wind turbines that shattered in a windstorm prompted 6 beaches to close because large pieces of fiberglass and shards that were going to hurt people were washing up on the beach. We need to stop that, obviously. Thankfully, Congressman Smith is working against the Murphy and Biden administrations. But of course, these things are a serious threat, not only to our wildlife, marine environment, our fishers, radar navigation, national security, tourism. These things need to be stopped, and how. And if you didn't think the economic news could be any worse under Mr. Biden and Mr. Murphy, I don't know if anybody else got one. I got my new insurance letter yesterday that says that they have subsequently filed, thanks to all of the inflation, Bidenomics at best, right? We are asking the Department of Banking and Insurance for an overall rate increase of 17.2%, which means if combined with the other previously approved rate increases, most homeowners could have a rate increase of 26.1% next year. Did you get a pay raise of 26.1%? I know the council did, but everybody else, you guys did not get a 26.1% increase. If you are a renter, it's okay. You're going to be spared because you're only going to have to pay 17.8%. Can you afford that? For the love of God, people, wake up. Stop voting for Democrats. Kick them all out now. Have a good night. God bless America.
Thank you. We move on to consideration ordinances, public hearing, and final consideration. This is the second reading of ordinance 25-24 entitled an ordinance of the Township Council, Township of Jackson, Ocean County, New Jersey, amending and supplementing Chapter 245 Landlord Registration and Responsibility of the Township Code to establish regulation governing lead paint inspections for rental properties in accordance with PL 2021-C182. This ordinance was introduced on July 9th, 2024. I need a motion to open public hearing.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
If any member of the public has any comments to make, please address the council at the microphone. State your name and address clearly for the record. You will have 5 minutes and may only speak once.
Seeing no one come forward, make a motion to close public session.
Second. Oh.
All in favor?
Aye.
This is the third reading of ordinance 25-24 entitled an ordinance of the Township Council, Township of Jackson, Ocean County, New Jersey, amending and supplementing Chapter 245 Landlord Registration and Responsibility of the Township Code to establish regulations governing lead paint inspection for rental properties in accordance with PL 2021-C.182. I need a motion to adopt on third and final reading and advertise according to law.
Motion?
Second.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Bernstein?
Yes.
Councilman Chisholm?
Yes.
Council Vice President Sargent?
Yes.
And Council President Kuhn.
Yes.
Thank you. We move on to bills and claims. I need a motion to approve or hold.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Councilman Borelli?
Abstain on vendor numbers EYE01, NJS04, STA54, TRE26, and TRE34. Yes to the rest on there. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Bernstein?
Yes.
Councilman Chisholm?
Abstain on BRI 18, COM 44, and MOD 01. Yes to all the rest.
Thank you. Council Vice President Sargent?
Yes.
And Council President Kuhn.
Abstain on RCS 02, yes to the rest.
Thank you. Consent agenda. I need a motion to approve the listed resolutions under consent agenda.
Motion?
Second.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Bernstein?
Yes.
Councilman Chisholm?
Yes.
Council Vice President Sargent?
Yes.
And Council President Kuhn.
Yes.
We'll move on to public comments of any topic. I need a motion to open the public portion of the meeting for all comments.
Motion to open.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
If, at this time, if any member of the public has any comments to make, please address the council at the microphone. State your name and address clearly for the record. You will have 5 minutes and may only speak once.
Good evening, Ryan Archer, 486 Frank Applegate Road. Just wanted to be noted in the record that the township has requested approximately 26 business days of extension on my Open Public Records Act inquiry regarding a New Jersey DEP letter that was issued to the township regarding non-compliance with the consent order from the latest lawsuits. I just want that to be on the record. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone else?
Seeing no one come forward, make a motion to close public comment.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion to close.
Motion to close.
Second.
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 All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
I gotta be fast. Thank you all.
Hey.